all about information, education, and entertainment.
Maybe that's before now. Solutions 93.9 FM has raised the standard of radio broadcast to preferring solutions in all human angle. 939 FM, the remedy.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
So many changes. Things are no longer the same with what it looks like on the tennis standings. Talking about world number one, a man who likes singing, but he knows how to win his games. Jannik Sinner. Well, call him world number one. Well, for Carlo Alcaraz is looking at a way to see that a Sinner man will not get to the final of the Roland Garros. And well, we'll still continue to count down to Euro 2024. Okay, so a lot of people are already waiting on the Facebook page for the giveaway. Okay, so all you need to do is to answer the question we have for you this morning on the Euro 2024 road to Berlin as we count down to the competition going down in Germany. My name is OLADAPO, OKUNUBI, aka Young Striker 9. Also on the show this morning, we'll be looking at updates coming from the world of basketball and looking at the Super Eagles camp. It is Kickoff Sports Show. Remember, you can be part of the show. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, Solutions 93.9 FM. And in case you want to call in, the numbers to call are 0909 888 9939, 0909 888 9939, or 0912 222 2939. Let's go. We can say there is a change of guard on the rankings right there on talking about the ATP category of the of tennis. With the situation of things, Jannik Sinner, remember, defeated Giga Dimitrov 6-2, 6-4, 7-6, as Carlo Alcaraz defeated Stefanos Tsitsipas 6-3, 7-6, 6-4. And that brought a change, not only about that, but with Novak Djokovic pulling out of the ongoing French Open due to injury. However, but today, that means Casper Ruud is through to the next round. Alexander Zverev will take on Alex de Minaur. But now let's talk about a man called Jannik Sinner, who is now the world number one. Well, he spoke after what happened to Novak Djokovic and what his plans look like for the French Open.
It means a lot to me, for sure. It's not the way we all were expecting, actually. He had two very long matches, tough matches, 5 sets, so it's tough. The first one, he finished really late also. And, you know, it's tough also for the tournament, you know, and Novak retiring, it's always tough. Talking about myself, I am very happy about this achievement. You know, it's a lot of work we put in daily. You know, it's a daily routine, and you know, obviously happy to have this number. But you know, in 2 days there is a very important match for me, the semi-finals. So I'm focused about that at the moment, but yes, of course, very happy to have this number now.
Well, Jannik Sinner, a man who has been able to take the year 2024 by storm. However, he will be facing Carlo Alcaraz. Remember, Carlo Alcaraz was in super form against Stefanos Tsitsipas, winning 3 straight sets, 6-3, 7-6, 6-4. Well, for him, it is now or never?
Well, first of all, I'm really happy to be back in the semi-final here in Roland Garros. It's always special being able to play a semi-final in a Grand Slam. I'm really excited to play on Friday against Yannick again. Really difficult challenge. I'm ready for that, and hopefully everyone are gonna enjoy that match as much as I'm gonna do it. Well, you have to run like it is a marathon, you know, side to side. No, I think he has nothing bad. I think he does it perfectly. I mean, the way that he hit the ball is unbelievable. The way he moves, it's really well. You know, he push you to the limit in every ball, in every point. I think it is the hardest thing to face Gianni, but
It is what it is. You want to be the best, you have to beat the best. It is still Kickoff Sports Show, live on Solutions 93.9 FM. Now, looking at the WTA category, games going down today. Jasmine Paolini will take on Elena Rybakina, Arina Sabalenka to Bartomira Andreeva. Well, a lot of criticisms have also been coming concerning the way the game is going right there in front. Games going down late, starting too early. Well, Ons Jabeur criticized the Shadley at the French Open on Tuesday, saying the players deserve better. Jabeur lost a quarterfinal against Coco Gauff with their match starting on court Felipe Charita on Tuesday at 11 a.m. local time. It's the first time slot each day. And those matches usually start in front of a barely full stadium, slowly filling up with spectators as the match progresses. It is also an early start for both players. Not really what they expected, but hey, now let's move on. Away. Okay, Jolasho Henry is asking what is wrong with Novak Djokovic. Well, Djokovic got injured, so he had to pull out of today's game against Casper Ruud. So for Casper Ruud, he had to walk over Novak Djokovic. So that is what happened right there to Novak Djokovic. Remember, you can keep talking to us live on Facebook with Live Solutions 93.9 FM. Now let's talk basketball this morning, where with Kai having set to play his first NBA final since 2017 when the Boston Celtics host Dallas Mavericks in Thursday's game by 8:30 p.m. His former teammate LeBron James admitted just how much he misses playing with the 8-time All-Star. James and Ivan played 3 seasons together with the Cleveland Cavaliers from 2014 to 17, making it to 3 straight finals and winning the championship in 2016, where Ivan hitting the title-clinching 3-pointer at Game 7 to beat the Golden State Warriors. Now let's go straight talk football this morning. I'm tapping it for you. Okay, thank you very much for tapping it. Well, we've got a lot of jerseys on ground to give out. All you need to do is to understand the European football, right? Also, let us know the national team you'll be supporting for Euro 2024. Okay, someone is saying he likes my jersey. Okay, thank you very much. You can win one today. All you need to do is answer the question. All right, now let's go straight to the second half of the show, where we talk football, and we start from the home scene.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Check it out right now. It is 9:10. Still Solutions 93.9 FM and still Kick Off Sports Show. My name is OLADAPO, OKUNUBI, in case you are just tuning in. Well, talking about the countdown to that particular game, Super Eagles of Nigeria will be playing against Bafana of South Africa and Benin Republic. Remember, the boys are ready in Uyo and we're still waiting for some key players. But on Tuesday evening, we got an update on the Shemi Ajayi, Calvin Bassey, Bright Osai Samuel, Frank Onyeka, Paulo Noachu jumping into the team's camp. Remember, for the nationwide strike affected some key players. They could not board local flight to Uyo. So, and according to updates, we are getting some players yet to arrive. 3 players still being expected: Amaduka Okoye, Ademola Lukman, who won the Europa with Atalanta, and Alex Iwobi of Fulham. Now, talking about the goalkeepers in the Super Eagles squad ahead of Bafana of South Africa, Benin Republic 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Stanley Wambali has been talking. Now, Stanley Wambali has said that having Maduka Okoye back in the Super Eagles will bring out best in all the goalkeepers in the team. Okoye is among the 23 players summoned by head coach Finidi George into the squad for the qualifiers. The United shortstopper was not considered for a place in the Super Eagles squad for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. Wambali, however, said there is no pressure on him, stating that competition for places will only bring out the best in all the players. Well, that's the updates coming from that Super Eagles camp. Remember, most of these players have, paid their dues with their club sides, and now it is more of doing well for their national teams. All the players want to play at the World Cup, but you have to do what? You must be able to qualify first. Now let's go straight to the continent. More looking at games going down today for the World Cup qualifiers. Looking at Group A, B, E, H, I, and more this morning. Okay, and World Cup qualifiers in Group A, Sierra Leone will take on Djibouti by 5 o'clock today. In Group B, Togo will take on South Sudan. In Group E, Tanzania will take on Eritrea. Well, Tanzania-Eritrea's game, I beg your pardon, has been cancelled. However, for Group H, Namibia will take on Liberia. Tunisia will battle Equatorial Guinea. Group I by 5 p.m. today. Central African Republic will take on Chad. Those are the games scheduled for today on the continent of Africa for the World Cup qualifiers. Remember, it's also going down for the CONCACAF, where we have Antigua and Barbuda taking on Bermuda in Group A for the second round of a CONCACAF qualification for World Cup. Suriname against St. Vincent and Grenadines. That is for that end. But moving away from the World Cup qualifiers, now let's go straight and count down to Euro 2024. Remember, this corner, you stand a chance to win a brand new jersey.
Secrets hidden inside our bones. Starlight that bleeds when all of the lights come on. It's a beautiful miracle. How you lift me up when I feel low. Beautiful, everglow. Now we're shining like a sea of gold. Yeah. Like a million diamonds in the sky, and we're lost
Yes, we're on fire. Euro 2024. We'll count down. Now we'll move to Group B on the show this morning. Remember, yesterday I asked the question about Croatia. And, well, a lot of people could not answer that question. I asked the question, the group where Croatia is at the Euro 2024. Well, Croatia is in Group B, right? And I also asked the question about who the coach of the Croatian national team is. A lot of people went on the offside there. So, Zlatko Dalic is the coach of the Croatian football team. So, that is gone. But what's for the question? Well, let's just quickly check some updates here this morning. Well, teams are getting set for the Euro 2024. It is 24 teams, one title, one nation, and that is going down in Germany. However, teams are getting set for preparatory games, friendly matches. Manchester United midfielder Bruno Fernandes came off the bench to score twice and help Portugal kick off their Euro 2024 preparations with a 4-2 win over non-qualifiers Finland on Tuesday in Lisbon. Cristiano Ronaldo was not in that game because he had to get set for he had to put himself in shape, so he's on the break and he will be back in the squad by next week. Well, remember, Portugal will face Croatia on Saturday and Ireland next week in their final warm-up games before they start their European Championship campaign on June 18 against the Czech Republic in Group F. They will also take on Turkey and Georgia. But now let's focus on Group B this morning, and let's go straight and look at the team profile of Spain.
Spain. Three-time champions Spain, following their incredible run in the 2008 and 2012 edition back-to-back, fell short of themselves as they finished in the third place spot at the 2020 edition. Luis de la Fuente's sides will be hoping for a record-breaking fourth Euro win in Germany. They are currently level with the host on 3 triumphs. The La Furia Roja will open the Group B of the European tournament against Croatia, then face Italy and Albania.
Okay, team profile of Spain there at the Euro 2024. Well, for those of you who have been monitoring this morning, so the question on the show this morning is in 2 parts. If you're ready, I am ready. So the first question for the Euro 2024 countdown about Spain this morning. How many Euro title has Spain won? How many Euro titles has Spain won? And what position did Spain finish at the last Euro tournament? What position did Spain finish at the Euro tournament? And how many titles of Euro has Spain got? The titles Spain has got, and what position did they finish at the 2020 edition? 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. You call the phone lines and you stand a chance to win a brand new jersey. 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. Well, remember, it is more of calling, and well, we'll see what we can do for those of you on the page this morning on our Facebook page. But call the phone lines 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. You can as well call 0904-422-2939, 0904-422-2939. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Good morning.
My name is Thomas David.
Your name again?
Thomas David.
Thomas David?
Yes.
Okay, Thomas, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Akobo.
From Akobo. All right, so the question, how many titles has Spain got for Euros, and what position did they finish at the last Euro tournament in 2020?
They have 3 trophies.
Okay.
In the last one, they finished at quarterfinal.
Sir?
Quarterfinal.
Okay. They did not finish at the quarterfinal. You got that wrong. They finished at the semi-finals, even finishing third. Hello? Okay, so you got it wrong. I mean, you got the first question right, the 1-3 titles, but they finished at the semi-finals, not at the quarterfinals at the 2020 edition. So what do we do? So let us ask another question, right? Let us see. 0909-888-9939, 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is William from Dugbe.
Williams from Dugbe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if I call you Willy, will you like it?
Yes.
Okay, so Willy, let's go. So you know you got the answers, right? Did you get what I said earlier? Spain finished at the semi-final stage. Yes. But let me give you a question. If you get it right there, you walk away with the jersey. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so who is the national team coach of the Spanish national team?
I forgot this.
Willy, try and call back. 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. Well, the coach of the Spanish national team is Luis de la Fuente. That's the coach of the Spanish national team. So let's see who will be coming in here. And you get this, then you walk away with a jersey. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Paul still calling from Jericho.
Your name again?
Paul calling from Jericho.
Paul, you won Portugal jersey the first time now.
Yeah, I want to win more things now.
You want more?
I want more.
Paul, you know what? Let's give other people opportunity to win, right?
Okay,
Let's give other people opportunity to win, right? Thank you very much. 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Your name again, please.
Damilola calling from Okeado.
Damilola calling from Okeado?
Yeah.
Damilola?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I give you a question, you get it right, you come around to pick up a jersey. What national team will you be supporting at the Euros?
Supporting Portugal.
You are supporting Portugal. Okay.
Yeah.
Because of Cristiano Ronaldo or Bruno Fernandes?
No, Fernandes.
Okay, so who is the most capped player for Spain? Who is the most capped player in the Spanish national team?
I can't hear you.
Who is the most capped player in the Spanish national team?
Yes, I'm like, yeah.
Oh, and I would have loved you. I mean, you are very close to the station. You could have just walked in. Well, it's Sergio Ramos. Has had 180 caps.
Yes, Sergio Ramos.
Sergio Ramos.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Well, let us see. 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. Okay, so whoever gets this. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Who is this?
I'm Jola Oshorin.
Henry Jola Osho. Okay, no. you have been troubling our Facebook page. I mean, you were the first person to get the title numbers right on the Facebook page. So let me just give you a question. If you get it right, Jola Osho, what national team will you be supporting?
I'll be supporting Portugal.
Why is everybody going for Portugal? Why are you not going for Italy? I mean, they are defending champions, but there's no problem. Now, Jola Osho Henry.
Yes.
The nickname of the of Nigerian male national team is Super Eagles, right?
Yes.
So what is the nickname of the Spanish national team?
Spanish national team.
Yes. Please.
God.
Please. This
question is somehow hard now.
What?
The question is somehow hard.
It is not hard now.
nickname is America. Oh,
Jolasho Henry. But by the way, Jolasho Henry, you won yourself an airtime. Getting the question right on the Facebook page, right? So just go and send us your phone number so we can recharge your line.
Abi, you need that nickname now.
Yeah, Jolasho Henry now. Okay, this is the last call. We hope this last call will win this. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling back. I want to try again.
You cannot try again. Now let's allow other people now. Let's allow other people, my brother. Please, my brother. Let us allow other people. All right, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
My name is Josh and I'm calling from Okebola.
You are calling from Okebola. Okay, so remember the nickname of the Spanish national team. You can call them the La Fira Roja, right? You can also call them the Reds. But the question here, are you there? Who is the team captain of the Spanish national team?
Who is what?
The team captain of the Spanish national team.
Cavaja.
Try again, not Cavaja. Okay, let me give you a clue. He has played in England before. He has played in the English Premier League before. He has played in the Italian Serie A before. Are you there? Oh no! That is Alvaro Morata. Alvaro Morata is the current captain of the Spanish national team. 9:27 is the time. I have close to 20 jerseys. Okay, so what do we do? Tomorrow morning, you stand a chance to win a jersey. Right? Let's do that tomorrow morning, guys. Well, Jolasho Henry, you've won yourself airtime for answering the first question on the Facebook page. But remember, when you call, Jolasho Henry is just answering Alvaro Morata on the Facebook page. They play. But remember, tomorrow we'll be looking at the Croatian national team. So, the profile of Croatian national team, go and read more, check more, and you stand a chance to win a brand new jersey. My name is OLADAPO. OKUNUBI. We're done with the countdown to Euro 2024 today. We'll be back tomorrow morning on the Kickoff Sports Show. Remember, every day, weekdays, and Saturday Sports Safari, you stand a chance of winning jerseys, data, airtime, cash. Like what I say, keep doing sports and stay safe.
From the east to the west, now we they carry first. From the north to the south, go reach the south. You go see say we get mouth, cause we know they carry last. Nigeria know they carry last. We dey ball like Okocha or Aziza to Shola, Agba Bola, and we fit carry shoulder. Cause we know they carry last. Oh no, no. We don't fit carry last. So raise your hand wherever you are. 2 fingers for me if you love Nigeria. We going higher till we reach that top. One thing is sure. Nigeria know they carry last. Nigeria know we carry last. We are better together. We are everything we are. We have come so very far. Nigeria know we carry last. We know we carry last. Now we get it your love. We both get it pasta. But we live on for them. Cause now we get superstar. But now we see the video. If you feel me, let me know. Cause we know they carry last. What are you there for Canada? Orile or Ibaja? Whether you go mama, we know if we carry last. So raise your hand wherever you are. 2 fingers for me if you love Naija. We going higher till we reach that top. One thing is sure. Naija know they carry last. Naija know they carry last. 'Cause we are better together. We are everything we are. We have come so very far. Naija know they carry last. We know we carry last. I believe in the Nigerian spirit. All for one and one for all.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Okay, I finally made it, and I'm excited to be right here this morning. I mean, like Dapo, signed out earlier, Nigeria they carry last.
Definitely.
When it comes to, making decisions, Nigeria they carry last. Strike is over, and I know that you won't want to be last to get to your office this morning. But hey, welcome to AM Update, the second half of the show from the dailies. My name is Favor Olorutola. How did the 2 days break? How did it treat you? I know today is Wednesday. Please go to work. School students, it's time to go back to school, and that is it. Adedamola Lafenwa, good morning to you.
A beautiful morning to you, Favor Olorutola. Beautiful morning to you, our esteemed listener out there. Well, like Favor Olorutola said, it's no longer news that the strike has been suspended. Well, I don't even like the word suspended. I think with the look of things, I think it's more like it's been relaxed, because for the organized labor to say they are given the federal government just 5 days to work on whatever they agreed upon. So I would rather call it a strike being relaxed for now to see the outcome of what the federal government will do.
Our president too has not, he's not going to carry last on this. He's also giving ultimatum to the labor.
Well, let's just keep our fingers crossed. I mean, the 5 days are given by organized labor. Let's see what the federal government will put on the table, or will bring to the table for this. Okay, looking at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning, I have the Nigerian Tribune and the Nation newspaper.
Staring right at me is the Punch newspaper and the Vanguard newspaper. The very first story on the Punch newspaper for this morning: minimum wage talks. Labour considers 100,000 naira as Tinubu issues ultimatum. President orders minister to calculate costs. Labour gives 1 week ultimatum. And now moving to the envelope headline at the top platform of the Punch newspaper this morning: sell crude to Dangote refinery, FG directs IOCs. You can find that story on page 21 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Naira may settle at 1,450 naira per dollar by December. Ratings, and that made my heart do bignish at that. Well, FG funds reps back FG suit against governors. 30 governors spent 968 billion naira on refreshments, others in 3 months. That's a report that you can find on page 31 of the Punch newspaper. CNG will reduce petrol imports by $4.4 billion. FG. PSC unveils 10,000 recruits, drops 61,092 applicants. And there are three images displayed on the Punch newspaper this morning. 1 killed, 50 miners trapped as pit collapses in Niger. Finally, police hunt for tenant as landlord dies during rent face-off. Page 6 of the Punch newspaper.
All right, looking at the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, the biggest story on the front page, it says a minimum wage. Tinubu gives finance minister 48 hours to present cost implications. And there are quite a number of riders under that caption. Wants committee states private sector to work on new wage award as Labour gives reasons for suspending strike for a week. Senate carpets NLC TUC for shutting down national grid, urge disruptions. Attorney General should prosecute states that fail to pay minimum wage. Falano. The story can be found on pages 4 and 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. 3 burned to death as tanker explodes in rivers. That story is found on page 26. Our judiciary encourages politicians to besiege court after elections. Jonathan. That story is found on page 13. Police Service Commission releases list of 10,000 successful candidates for recruitment. Page 27. Customs Army repels smugglers' attack in Lagos, kill 1. Editors condemn spate of journalist abduction. That story is found on page 4. Let me take 3 more headlines. CBN clears OPay, Kuda, others to resume new customers onboarding. Page 21. Naira misses IMF exchange rate listing for June. Page 6 and the last one. Tinubu approves naming of Abuja Road after Soyinka say my development agenda transforming Nigeria. Page 29. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
All right, on the Vanguard newspaper, there is also a story on the minimum wage. Give cost to government today. Tinubu orders finance minister. And there are some riders. We have as Labour suspends strike for 5 days, says negotiation should be completed as soon as possible. While we suspended strike, NLC TUC Committee on Minimum Wage adopts agenda for today's meeting. Senate Action Aid asks federal government to expedite action to stop industrial unrest. AGF should prosecute states that fail to pay 30,000 naira minimum wage. Falano, I wonder why this is just coming up now. It's been years, and some states have not been paid. And why is it, just coming up now? Now, editors may flay increasing spate of journalists' abduction. That's on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. And 30 feared dead as mine site collapses in Niger. Edo Ondoguba, INEC extends voter registration deadline to June 9. And let me take this. Finally, CNG, FD targets $4.4 billion petrol import savings. This and many more you can find on the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, going through the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. Strike, House of Reps attacks Labour. Grid shutdown criminal. Okay, that story found on page 3. 1 million CNG buses will cut 50 million litre petrol use by 20%. NAMA seeks retention of more revenue of operations. And the biggest story, the biggest story on the front page of the Nation newspaper, because 95% of the front page of the Nation newspaper is advertorial this morning. So let me take this one. Edo to present new wage template. Page 2 of the Nation newspaper.
All right. We have to go to the burning issue this morning. We have our analyst on the other side. Just stay tuned to the station. Don't change the dial. welcome back. We have Comrade Ayodiji Ajishope with us this morning. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning and happy resumption, sir, from the strike.
Wow! Happy resumption. A good morning to you, my dear comrade, sister, and brother.
All right. Okay, let's look at the state of the nation at the moment. The labor force has suspended the strike. Now, so far so good. Let's run an analysis on the journey so far, starting from Monday when the strike took off, and the state of things at the moment. Now, do we say that both parties have been able to reach a reasonable compromise? Looking at the
big question
agreement.
The big question is, where were they when they called for the strike? Where were they? What were the issues? Minimum wage and the issue of reversal. Those are the reasons given by the labor. Now, at the time they went on strike, they were asking for 497, if I'm correct, and then the reversal. So where are we now? What was the template for this agreement that made them suspend the strike for 5 days? The document that is a protection that was signed was that the president agreed to go beyond 60,000. When you say you're going beyond 60,000, you could go from 60,000 to 61,000. That does not take you to 495 that they are demanding. Now, it is here already in the air that labor has been pressurized, by, public spirited people to shift to 100,000. I can tell you boldly that government is not going to offer 100,000. They would not.
Now, why do you feel the government will not be able to succumb to the 100,000 demand?
Go and look at the trajectory of, movement of this minimum wage. And then our economic reality. Our economic reality, one of the challenges is inflation. And you see that inflation is being tailed textbook-wise by the central bank with...
textbook-wise.
Nigeria's economy has defied that instrument of, raising, interest rate. Now, when you now start awarding, wages double, triple, regarding what people have now. You remember people who are, yes, I was young, but I recall Udoji Award there. Nigeria was awash with, money, and that was the beginning of inflation in this country. Now, that aside, the issue of power, reversal of it is not even on the agreement side for the suspension for 5 days. Okay, you see, it is so annoying. What has that committee, tripartite committee? They knew where they were going. What have they been doing? They now said they should meet every day for the entire week. What have they been doing? They are appointed to a committee. Dedicate 1 week, even 1 week in a month. When you do 5 straight days rather than meeting twice in a week. If you dedicate just 1 week, rigorous, you do it. You set it so you end one day, you come and pick it up hot from where you ended the previous day, rather than going away and then you come back to me and say, hey, kill us, or what did you say last week, no? Please remind me, what was the decision? It should still be hot if you do it continuously for 5 days. They will reach an agreement. Look, people don't, the cost of the strike, the strike didn't last more than 24 hours. Let them go and compute it. And let us compute the gains. What gains? All these things, 70,000 that they will arrive at, 75,000 that they will eventually arrive at. It could have been arrived at without so much stress. And then why did laborers go to 1 million and then come back to some figures until they arrived at 497 or something? How did they arrive at those figures? Government cannot defend its own figures. Government is not even try to. You understand? Government is not even try to explain its own, but but they can't at least cut it demand. Say, look, we are looking ahead. that in the next 6 months, inflation will come down. We are looking ahead. The prices of commodities will come down based on this, based on that, based on that. And we then believe that by that, the value of whatever you ask will be enhanced. They're not even making any attempt to explain anything. They're just insisting. You understand? That is not good enough. And that is surprising coming from a government led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. These are propagandists. They are the ones that packaged and repackaged Buhari for us in 2014 so successfully with the changing slogan. And to do this for themselves, they are unable to do it. You know, spin doctors. It is so surprising that they can't do this.
Okay,
But,
now, even as of now, Labour has come under attack, especially coming from Bayo Onanuga, who has said that Labour is playing politics with these agitations. What do you take? Or I mean, what's your take on that? What do you think about
they will come. You know now, that is the duty of the media aid of the president now. They will take them on. I mean, what's the meaning of politicizing? That we're talking about minimum wage. That is overdue. The current minimum wage law has lapsed, and they are saying they are playing politics. What politics are they playing? They are pursuing the interests of their workers. You guys are in the villa there. You never know whether there is power or there is no power because there will be light permanent.
That's the question. That is it.
You don't know. The cars that they drive around are filled. The tanks are filled from a pool in the villa. They don't pay for fuel. I mean, it is what I know. They don't pay for fuel. I mean, they don't pay for the maintenance of those vehicles they drive around. You never even know. As working with a vice chancellor, I never knew whether there is power or no power until one day the gate man told me that as I was driving out, please, you want to switch off the generator. I said, why are you telling me? He said, the generator has been on for 3 days. You know, can you imagine? You put generator on for 3 days. So only God knows how many generators they have. They just switch from one to the other. You never know. They don't pay for nothing. You don't pay for food.
And still talking about Labour coming under attack. Even the House of Reps has attacked the Labour force, saying that shutting down the national grid is criminal, that they shouldn't have gone to that extent of shutting down the national grid.
Well, you see, you use what you have to get what you need. I think it is actually criminal because I think it is still in the law books. Don't forget that some people are sentenced to death during the Babangida era. It is still in the labor law 2004 as amended that essential duty worker cannot go on strike. It is there.
But when you say essential duty workers, are they the doctors and the nurses? And we've had cases of big hospitals going on strike too.
Well, you know, it is not every law. It is not every law in the books unless it gets to a crisis situation. When it gets to a crisis situation, okay, when it gets to a crisis situation, the government said they are not going to pay university teachers. That is what is in the law books. You understand? It is not something you use every time, but when you get to an extreme situation, you bring out the law books and apply the rules. But it is not something that you do every time. So attacking them that look, they're just using what they. And Labour said something yesterday, or the day before yesterday. They said they will not obey any law that does not favor them. I was actually quite alarmed by that. But you see, when you look at the other side too, government keeps flouting court orders.
Court orders, yes.
Buhari went to Port Harcourt to address Nigerian Bar Association, and he said rule of law. The theme of that conference was rule of law, and he said rule of law will be subject to national security. Can you imagine? So that is President Commander-in-Chief that swore an oath of office and an oath of allegiance, and he said rule of law will be subject to national security. And who determines what is national security?
Well, let's not forget that he still has the military blood running in his veins. So probably that's why he made that statement then.
When he became military head of state, the first interview he granted, I'm recollecting it, I'm looking at him now. He said, when they asked him about press freedom, the question was not even completed before he jumped on and said, he was going to tamper with press freedom. And when he was going to tamper with press freedom, you know what he did? They didn't say if you lie. They said if you publish anything embarrassing to government officials. They didn't say if you lie, though. You understand? They gave two people, Tunde Rabo and Rabo and Tunde Thompson. So not even a lie. And the people that were jailed, they published something about ambassadorial nomination. They said they leaked government secrets.
Okay, let's leave government and let's go to what favors, the workforce. On the Vanguard newspaper here, I have labor leaders may reconsider wage demand to avoid layoffs. And I remember you said something about they may not, obey laws that do not favor them. But let's see if the labor leaders can be considerate and think about those that might be laid off if they still keep demanding for 479,000 naira.
They have even brought it down now.
200,000 or thereabouts.
Look, even 100,000, my dear comrade, we work in private business. When you peg it at 100,000, even this 30,000, you understand? States are not paying.
I was even about to go there because there is also a story saying that those that have not paid should be prosecuted.
Femi Falana is saying that the states have failed to pay the 30,000.
Why is it coming up now after so many years?
Because it is a law. That minimum wage law is an act of parliament. Any infringement or infraction against it is criminal. When you are breaking the law, that's what I said about laws. Some of them in the cooler and in extreme situations, you bring them out. I think we are evolving, and people will start testing our constitution. You sue the Attorney General. Of course, you cannot sue the governor. You sue the Attorney General, and of course, let me tell you the response of the governor. They will simply say they will lay off. They will just call the labor leaders. They agree to this or will lay people off.
Because that's my concern now. Because if many states are yet to be able to pay the 30,000 naira minimum wage, let's peradventure they finally agree on 70,000 naira, just like it is being done in Edo State now and it's being adopted. How many states will still be willing? Won't this lead to mass retrenchment of workers, especially at the state level?
You see, the civil service and government parastatals, ministry departments and agencies, employment into them had always been seen as social service. Not strictly what we need. If you go to the secretariat now, they will tell you that they are short-staffed too. That people have been retiring and they are not employed. You understand?
Yeah.
But I have worked in an organization where I couldn't understand why we had. Now, yes, there are critical areas that will be short staffing. You understand? But some areas that will be overloaded. And the overload is usually at the top. The overloading is usually at the topmost segment. And that is where all the money goes. So, there must be a review of this thing. You have said at the federal level, in the days of Yaradua, they said anybody that has been a director for 8 years at the federal level, that you must go. You must leave the civil service. Not that if you have been director for 8 years and you have not become a primary secretary, you must retire. This administration has implemented it. There is this thing. The thing has been in the books since the days of Yaradua. You know, Yaradua was a quiet reformer. A very quiet reformer, if not for ill health and death. Now, they have started implementing it. 8 years as director, you leave the service. Because if you are 8 years director, for God's sake. So, that is what we should look at. And train them. The people at the top, train them. But people are used to their comfort zone. They don't want to venture out. You understand? If you have spent 8 years as director, leave the service. Leave the service. You can no longer become a permanent secretary. Leave the service and let them be generous with them and let them go. They are off, they are off the radar. So that is just it. If you become a permanent secretary, you earn your salary, you earn your full salary for life. And we have those who become permanent secretaries at 54, 55. They earn their salary for life, just like generals in the army. When you become a general and you retire, you earn your full salary for life. So we should look, the civil service has to be reconfigured. That's for efficiency. You go to the secretariat, any state secretariat, federal or anywhere. I have had a transaction in a federal ministry, and they did not pay me. I was lucky enough that I knew somebody there. I just went to the man's office, and the man said, "Have they paid you?" I said, "They have not paid me." And the man walked out. Eventually, they brought out my file from under the rug. And you know, what were they asking for? They were asking for gratification. So we must reconfigure. But at the same time, you see, you give a man a job, his wages is not even enough to transport him back and forth. There are those who work at the secretariat that probably live on one extreme end of town. They are probably coming from wire cable every day. You understand? They will manipulate now. The civil service was never like that. They were contented people doing their job diligently. It was the military that opened their eyes. And, you know, permanent secretary means your tenure is secure and assured. But they started firing them. You'll be on the way home and you'll hear in the radio that Mr. Kinison has been fired. So they got smart. They got wise, like the politicians. So we must review our civil service, whether state or federal, you know, to meet the challenges of our current situation.
Okay, now that's for the government parastatals and ministries. What about the organized private sector? What will this organized private sector? What will be the effect? Yes, because
you see, organized private sectors are in levels. There are the blue chips. You understand?
Yes.
The blue chips. The blue chips, immediately the price of PMS went up, quietly increased the allowances of their workers. They are in business to make profit, and they're not going to allow anything to get in their way. So immediately they increase the allowances and salaries of banks, blue chips. I had to walk a few kilometers to make up my... No, they won't allow that. They will provide the basics for you.
Definitely.
You understand?
Yes.
So they have adjusted. But when you're not talking about medium and small scale enterprises, we know how much petrol attendants earn. You know, I put it at 100,000. What is the margin on 1 liter of fuel, PMS and diesel? That the petrol station, the manager will be able to pay. Let's say he has 10 pumps. Let's even say he has 4 pumps. No station will even have 4 pumps because they will have PMS and diesel. So let's say he has 6 pumps. He will pay 600,000
don't let us even look at 100,000. Let's just assume at 70,000 now, because they now say it's going to be above 60.
Even at 70,000, how many people can afford to pay? We have graduates, university graduates or polytechnic graduates, teachers in private school as we speak, earning 40, 30,000.
Comrade, I know some that are earning less than 10,000 naira, university graduates as private school teachers as we speak now.
So that is what those schools can afford. That is what the schools can afford. You know? So, everybody will live in it. And there's a law that says if we employ a certain number of people, you must pay. You must pay. It is the law. But we live in different realities. The blue chip companies live. It will affect the balance book of even the corporate blue chip companies. It will affect their balance book. But of course, they make so much profit. We have seen banks declare several billions and billions of naira. The manufacturing companies might not find it so easy. You understand? But they will adjust. They will adjust. Their profit margin will go down because they cannot immediately pass. Everybody is hoping that the economic outlook will get better, at least by the end of this year. I will look for a better year 2025.
Anyway, my fear now, my greatest fear is I hope all this won't lead to retrenchment or laying off of workers.
Well, it's going to be a battle between the governors and state level of labor. Labor leaders have told me repeatedly that they will battle it out with the governors. They have repeatedly told that they will battle it out with the governors. But the governors too have their own strategy. You say, yes, okay, we must pay, we will retrench. And then you are between the devil and the blue sea.
Okay.
You either go.
Okay,
Go ahead.
let's move away from the labor matters a bit. Former President Goodluck Jonathan was in Delta State yesterday at the commissioning of a state high court complex in Asaba. And he made a particular statement. He said, our judiciary encourages politicians to besiege court after elections. And I would like to quote him. I want to, let me just read out part of the statement he made. He said, my thinking is that 50% of those who go to court because they felt they were cheated by the electoral management system. They were rigged out. And he said, when you feel naturally aggrieved, you have to go to court. So assuming the elections are properly conducted, they know they failed the election, but they feel they can use the judiciary to declare them winners. In a nutshell, I think he was trying to say that people are beginning to abuse court rulings.
And the judicial system.
Because even if me and Mr. Ajisope and I contest for an election, and eventually Comrade Ajisope wins the election, and I lost, and I know that actually it was a free and fair election, but there is this belief that politicians now have that there is a way I can still go to court and get me declared winner. That is what he was trying to say in a nutshell. Did he paint the real picture of the judiciary with that statement?
You see, I've always had a challenge with President Jonathan's choice of words and his delivery. You will recall his sensational statement that stealing is not corruption. Have you forgotten?
Yeah. Yeah.
So his choice, maybe it's because President Jonathan is a science person, his choice of words and his delivery have always been suspect. And you know, we are communicators. We are mindful of our words, our choice of words. And so that there won't be a gap. You know, people would have to say, is this what it means? And then it can be interpreted in several ways. So I think there is a challenge there. But apparently, our electoral, you see, there is the issue of attitude. I must win at all costs. You understand? I must not lose. If you try every means, you know, in the processes, and then they say, we can still go to court. How many governors have become judicial governors in Nigeria? It should be they started it in the Southwest. Ondo, judicial governor. Ekiti, judicial governor. Edo, judicial governor.
It's not that because it's more like it is the court that decides winners of elections these days.
Imo, number 4 became number 1. Bayelsa, they are going to swear him the following. It was already doing
that Imo's case and Bayelsa's case were more of the extreme cases. Dramatic. Number 4 becoming number 1.
So people will now say, let us explore. You understand? It is not in the interest. You see, you have conducted election. People have spoken with their vote. And it is looking a little difficult now for outright manipulation. You understand? No matter what people say. You know, we watch these things. Outright manipulation is not so easy like the days of you take over 10,000 ballot papers, somebody will go and complete everything. That was what they proved in Edo. They proved it, that somebody completed about 10,000, you know. So, the spirit, the desperation, you say you want to serve. People have spoken with their vote, and you must go to court and win. And then, of course, the technical, look at some cases. Somebody will win. Okay, look at the case of Oshun. I think it was Lottery. They said the judgment was not, it was signed by a judge that was not in the court during the pronouncement of the judgment. I mean, you know, he's a member of the panel, but they say he was not there. The day the judgment was read and he signed. So technicality, but there's a difference between people that say there's a difference between judgment and justice. And going to court is about seeking justice, not judgment. So I think we're in an era now. In the days of Justice Chukwudi Oputa, the days of Justice Apata, all those, you know, highly cerebral judges that had human face. You know, they say there is a law and then there is a spirit of the law itself. And the law, the spirit of the law is more important than the letter. That's why they always talk about what was the intendment of those who crafted. So they will not sit down and go into the mind of those who crafted the law. What did they intend? You know, rather than just a letter. That is what President Jonathan means. And it is not, but we are evolving. We are evolving. After some time, I'm sure that people will say, look, in the interest of all, he who fights around the way can always fight another time. So I think we're involved.
Okay. I think people has something over there.
Let's move away from that. Let's go to the economic sector, especially Dangote Refinery and the federal government's directive to the IOCs to sell crude oil to Dangote Refinery. I know we've been optimistic so far concerning the price of petrol. But this new directive, let's look at how it can impact the savings of the government. Because with the projection, our federal government is targeting $4.4 billion petrol import savings.
Yeah. You know, Dangote cried out a few days ago.
Yeah.
That of course, we know that even the current one he has, he imported them from.
You have less than 1 minute.
Okay. All right, comrade.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's have your...
Yeah.
You can continue with what you were saying. We just reconnected. All right.
yes, the issue before regarding Dangote refinery. You know, if he imports from North America and South America, the cost of freight will be added to the cost of production. But if it is, you know, even here, the cost of freight will be drastically reduced. And that will impact the cost of production. So, but we understand that Nigeria's oil, this era, has been mortgaged up front, you know, for some liquidity. That may be the challenge. But they will simply ask the IOCs, you know, the ones they call IOCs, it's a joint venture between Nigeria, represented by NNPC, and those IOCs. So it's a 60%, 40% venture. So Nigeria can say, okay, do this, do that. But they will have to rev up production. It is in our interest that Dangote produces, you understand? And there will be a challenge, no doubt. There will be a challenge, no doubt, when Poracos 1 and 2 get on stream. 650,000 barrels per day is the installed capacity of Dangote refinery. And Poracos 1 and 2 has an installed new capacity of 180,000 or thereabouts. And when you add Kaduna to it, you are going to 1 million barrels per day. So can Nigeria do 1 million barrels of supply of crude oil per day and still meet our export quota, do the IOCs and others? But that will be good for the oil production companies because they will have sales. You understand? Okay. They will have sales. They will be patronized locally. Of course, they will be selling at what they call the spot market price, unless, of course, they get concession. You know, when you supply locally, it's for local production. It is not counted as part of your quota. So you can afford to give them some concessions because, but they will be selling at commercial rate. So it is important that Dangote gets crude. Constant regular supply of food. It is very, very important that Dangote gets it.
Okay,
it is in the interest of Nigeria.
Now, it is in the interest of Nigeria. Probably that was why the federal government ordered or directed IOCs to supply crude oil to Dangote. But some Nigerians are beginning to raise some questions, saying that is this not a way of giving Dangote another almighty monopoly? I mean, looking at how he has been able to hold down the cement sector, the sugar sector, the pasta sector. I mean, is Dangote not becoming the almighty superhuman?
You will notice that the man cries out. It's not the first time he's crying out about that refinery. He had to import. They said they were not going to give him that. They had commitment that they cannot give him crude oil. You usually have commitments months ahead. Somebody cannot just, if you guys ought to have, when he was building the refinery, you ought to, I mean, how can you fight an industry and you not think of the raw materials? You would have negotiated that along the processes. So, but maybe Dangote was just confident that, I mean, I'm a part of the system, they will give me priority and all of that. Those are assumptions. So, if Dangote, you see, the refinery, what do you call it? The IOC does not belong to Dangote. It does not control. And the era in which we are, we know the era is different from the era of Buhari, where he was virtually doing whatever he liked. So, I think this is a different era. The guys at the presidency, they are hard. I can tell you that they are not easy pushovers, and they're tough guys. So they can handle that situation. But it is in our interest, for God's sake, we know now how critical PMS, diesel, and all of this are to our lives, our daily lives. We saw what happened a few weeks back now when there was even the strike declared by Labour. You saw how people started queuing up in filling stations. You understand? Yes. Hoping, worried that the strike might last 1 week and then it becomes a challenge. Thank God for. So it is important, not just It's all important that Dangote gets crude oil supply, even if it is from Nigeria, because it will impact the end cost of production. You bring in crude oil from North America, South America, or you bring in crude from offshore here in Nigeria. I mean, and then it will impact the cost of production and the pump price of PMS eventually. So it is in our interest. It is in our interest.
Okay,
so I mean, when they give him that, they can tell him this has to impact on the end production cost.
Okay. With this new initiative, with the fact that, we're already seeing that refineries will be, reinstated in Nigeria, let's just quickly talk about the future of Nigeria as a producing nation, and therefore bringing us succor. Everyone, clamoring for a big change. What do you think about that? So we can wrap up finally.
Big change, I think.
Maybe when Nigeria eventually sees that we can become
a
producing nation.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? I didn't hear the last part of this.
He said he didn't hear the last
part. Can you hear me?
Yes, it is better now.
Yes, I said when Nigeria eventually realizes that we can become a producing nation, let's look at the future and the effect it's going to bring finally and bring succor to Nigerians.
It is hoped that by October this year, though Dangote was talking about end of June and all of that, I am skeptical, but I believe by the last quarter, beginning of the last quarter of year 2024, there is every likelihood that things may start looking up. These things don't move so rapidly, it doesn't move so rapidly. Things can drop. If you fly in an aircraft, you see how long it takes to climb to 30,000 feet. But if you want to drop into Lagos from 30,000 feet, in less than 1 minute, you will drop to 30,000 feet. For climbing 30,000 feet is a long, tedious, gradual process. So that is, Nigeria is in a hole, in all ramifications, a hole that we dug by ourselves, dug by our leaders, and our leaders put us in that hole. You see, we are going to climb out of that hole. You can climb a tree and jump down, but you cannot jump on a tree. So we are going to be climbing out of the hole that our leaders dug and we jumped into. So we are going to be climbing out, and it is going to be one step at a time. And it has to be coordinated, carefully coordinated, a balance between the fiscal and the monetary angles of this. They have to watch the managers of our economy, and they even have to watch the private sector. The financial sector has to be managed in a very shrewd manner, and with fiscal instruments implemented, and the civil service, the bureaucracy is key, very key in the implementation of whatever idea government has. Have you noticed that government has virtually abandoned the Orosaya report when the civil service kicked against it? And of course, the civil service is key in implementation of government policy. So, yes, fossil fuel. I read a report overnight about Dangote refinery by foreign, the damage. That one too should be managed by their common brother and sister. The environmental damage in that aggregate. You recall what happened to the entire Niger Delta region. The environmental destruction that has taken place since 1956 from the days of OLADAPO. Yeah. We should not, it is so close to us, we should not allow it to happen. Watchdogs should monitor what is happening there. People who fish for a living are already saying their livelihoods has been destroyed.
Definitely.
In that Dangote refinery aggregate. So we should watch it. But especially, like just my conferences have said, the Leviome Dangote refinery, when fully operational, I want to use the word, will bring us succor and relief. 12,000 megawatts of power can come out of it. There is also a petrochemical plant that produces fertilizer, 2.6 million metric tons per annum. also a part of that Dangote refinery. It's not just a refinery. It also has a petrochemical plant. It produces AGO, produces every component that comes out of crude oil. Dangote said we can provide diesel for the whole of West Central Africa, PMS for the whole of West Africa, aviation fuel for the whole of the continent.
Okay.
That was also earning foreign exchange. So it will bring succor and relief to us when fully operational.
All right. Thank you very much, Comrade Ayode Jajishope, for being a part of the program this morning.
Always a pleasure.
All right, sir.
That I did not take for granted. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that was covered Ayodeja Adishope. It's been our analyst. All right, we'll go to our Facebook page and X platform to check your comments. I see that a lot of people have dropped their comments on Facebook. Thank you very much. If you still want to drop your comment, you can just up on our Facebook page, Solutions 939 FM. Solutions 939 FM. Or better still, you can call into the studio 0909 888-9939 and 0912-222-939. All right, on Facebook, Ade Damola Okunlola. I was almost saying
my name. That's my namesake.
I was almost saying Ade Damola Fewa. She is saying, good morning to you. As regards the minimum wage, workers are clamoring for federal government should please reach an equilibrium with the NLC and NUT, and whatever they agree on, they should please pay on time, because people are really going through a lot at this time. Thank God for all your state government. They're always there. Now from Oluwashun Ruth says, good morning, Solutions FM. I will urge the labor union and federal government to reach a minimum negotiation like 100,000 naira, because the economy is not smiling now, which it will be better if state governors can negotiate on their own, because so many states are yet to implement the current 30,000 naira, and not to talk of the wage award, unlike the way your state government is doing and paying the wage award and salaries at when due. Okay, thank you very much for that comment. Do you have any?
Okay, this is a response to the headline on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, which says minimum wage. Tinubu gives finance minister 48 hours to present cost implications. And this is coming from Emmanuel. He said, cost implications for which amount? Is any amount fixed so far? The more you look, the less you see. Another one is coming from Jojo or Lauren Toba. Said cost implications for agreement that had not been fully concluded. Interesting time in this dispensation. Okay, do you have any more?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
This is from Precious. It's a jab towards the politicians. I will try to tone it down a bit. When all the politicians currently in power increase their salaries exponentially, did you do cost analysis of its effect on the economy? But you want to do the same for workers' salary increments. Okay, that is your opinion, Precious. From Jide, it says the national minimum wage has been in discussion for months. Well, before yesterday, a Microsoft Excel worksheet should have been created to automatically recalculate the monthly and annual wage bill based on any imputed minimum wage. I think I see reason to this, actually. You could have calculated it before now, just like Comrade Ayodeji Adishokwe said. What were you doing so far? We flunk even the simplest of tax. I think that is directed to the committee. Okay,
this is coming from Emmanuel Latunji. Nigerians stood by Labour in fighting the cause of the minimum wage. Labour should not abandon them after the struggle. They are all at it by the hardship. As workers are getting a new minimum wage, the struggle should continue to bring down prices of goods and foodstuffs that are rising daily. The unemployed and students are added it too. At the end of the struggle too, Labour should ensure that all states pay what has been agreed on.
Okay, well, some people are not really concerned about Labour and the effects. Most Nigerians are, we're just eager for light to come on.
Okay.
So most of the comments I have here, may God bless. Just make NEPA just bring lights. Oh yeah, bring lights now. Bring light now. That's what I have most of it here.
Yeah, I mean, after the
2
suspension of
days
the, I mean,
without
they
light.
should put on the lights now.
How was it with you? How was it for you then?
Well, when I heard the news that the strike had been suspended, because almost every day we have this light. I mean, they always put on the light for us. Anytime from maybe 11 p.m. down to like 6 a.m.
5.
So I was very optimistic that okay, on my mono day, I mean there will be, but
No,
my hope
it was dashed.
was dashed.
It was dashed.
My hope was dashed.
So please, strike is over. Day one of after strike, please give us lights. I'm sorry.
All right, on this note, we'd like to say a big thank you to you for being a part of the program this morning. We'll be back again tomorrow morning, same time, same station, for a fresh edition of AM Update on your number one radio dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. My name is Adita Mala Lafenwa, wishing every one of us a winning Wednesday. Go out there and win.
Go out there and flourish. From myself, or Lauren Tola Favor. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for staying tuned to the station.